Hey everyone, welcome to our launch webinar for FlexRule 10.1. My name is Ian Teague. I'm a product engineer at FlexRule. Thank you for taking the time to join us to hear about the cool new features of 10.1. With me today is Arash Aminzadeh, our decision automation consultant, who will be discussing our new features. Which brings us to our agenda for today. First, I'm going to briefly go through what it means that FlexRule is an open decision intelligence platform. Then we're going to start talking about all the new features of FlexRule 10.1, the continuous decision model, our DMN compliance, data training and prediction, support for SOAP API, and single sign-on for FlexRule Server. Once I pass things over to AJ, I'll be watching the chat to answer any questions you have, or if it works better, we'll send you an email after this presentation to answer your questions and provide any related resources. Now let's talk about FlexRule. FlexRule is an open decision intelligence platform used to automate end-to-end decisions. And what is decision intelligence? It's a multidisciplinary practice that combines different sciences like data science, machine learning, and behavioral science to help organizations make quality decisions that are aligned with their business objectives. Unlike traditional decision-making frameworks, which rely on human intuition or decision rules, decision intelligence leverages advanced analytics and algorithms in combination with business rules to create better business outcomes. And let's get into the new features of our open decision intelligence platform. The first one that was just released with 10.1 is the continuous decision model, or CDM. CDM addresses the limitations of predefined flows by enabling adaptive, event-driven decisioning that continuously responds to changes in the context and actions. To really see what this is, let's look at how it would be applied to the customer journey as an example. So in most customer journeys, companies use fixed flows where everything's mapped out ahead of time. Instead of locking in one path, CDM reacts to what the customer's actually doing and provides an omni-channel experience. It listens for events like email opened, logged into portal, and decides what should happen next in real time. And what could happen next could be any feature of the FlexRule platform. In this project, if an email is reopened by the client, an automated decision takes place. If events lead to displaying an offer on the home screen of the user portal, an automated process with human tasks takes place. And within that is another automated decision. As the customer interacts, maybe they click learn more or log into the portal. Behind the scenes, the model uses databases and AI algorithms and more combined with business rules to adapt and keep offers consistent on all channels. Feedback is collected and used to shape future decisions. If they engage, we show them the offer. If they accept or reject, we end the journey for that customer. If they ignore the offer long enough, cancel, or time runs out, the model ends the journey cleanly. But if they walk away and come back later or reopen an email, CDM picks up where it left off. And after all that, we can look at the context history to see what happened. For example, whether they accepted or rejected, and use that for reporting future decisions. So that's a new feature of FlexRule 10.1, and that can be found under Business Logic in the Project Explorer. It's a smarter, more flexible way to orchestrate by constantly adapting to real-time behavior instead of following a fixed path. And now I'm going to pass things over to AJ to show you this actual project in Designer and an example of having it deployed as a service. Then AJ is going to go through the rest of our new features. So AJ, I will stop sharing and you can take over.
Thank you, Ian. I share the screens. Can you see my screen?
Nothing yet.
Should be. No?
Okay, there we go. Yep, it's
Okay.
up.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. As Ian mentioned, the Continuous Decision Model, or CDM, is a real-time, event-driven model that responds dynamically to situations as they happen. Here, I have an example of a continuous decision model to show you how we can manage unpredictable situation for a customer journey. The scenario starts by sending personalized offer to a customer through email. These offers are selected based on the customer's information, which is provided as input to the model. A decision table here is used to define the business rules. Based on these business rules and customers' information, the model selects the most suitable personalized offer. In the next stage, we wait for the customer's action, such as opening the email, deleting it, or visiting their portal through the website. The model then responds appropriately based on the specific action taken. For example, here you can see that we've modeled 6 different possible actions the customer might take. For example, there could be a timeout. Think that this offer is only available for 1 week. And if the customer doesn't act within that time, they should receive a notification that the offer is expired. Or they might open the email, in which case we need to show the personalized offer that were selected for them. Alternatively, they might close the email and come back 2 days later by logging into their portal via the website. In that case, we still need to show the same offer on their portal. All of these examples shows the capability of the continuous decision and demonstrate what we mean by real-time and event-driven decision-making, where models is adapt dynamically to unpredictable customer behavior. Let me show you this continuous decision model in FlexRule Designer. This is exactly the same model that I showed you through the slides. Each octagon is a stage. At the start and end of each stage, you can add any logic document or connect it to any databases or REST API or sending the notification, or even you can add another decision model. We have a decision table at the entry of the first stage, and we created our business rules there. Let me debug these models and I show you detail more through the debugging. This is the input for these models. This is the sample customers and sample information that we have. Let's start the debug. Here it should ask me, do you want to show the debugging mode in the decision table or not? Said yes. In this decision table, each row is one business rules. And based on these business rules and the customer's input, customer's information that we have it as an input, and you can see the customer's information here. We select 4 different offers, personalized offer for these customers. And you can see these 4 actions here. On the next stage, we're waiting for customers' actions. For example, here I assume that these customers open the emails. When open the email, we show these offers to the customers. And we're waiting again for the next action from the customers. I assume, for example, these customers log into portal via email. And then here, for example, we show again the same offers through the portal. And then we can see, for example, this customer accept the offers. And here you can see that campaign outcomes is accept and the actions. And this is the valid question that how we can use this model in cloud. In FlexRule, we have an option as a package builder here. And here you can enter the package setting and service setting. And in deployment, you have option to deploy this model in Azure, AWS, Google, or a FlexRule server. For example, if I select on the Azure, here you need to enter the Azure credential and just click on the publish. I already published this model because I saved the time. When you publish these models, you get these URLs. Now for running these models through the Postman, I need the execute URL. And if I open the Postman, here is another input. And if I pasted the URL here, you can see that this continuous decision model is waiting. And these actions picked for this information, these customers, and we don't know still what is the campaign outcomes. We're waiting for next action for the customers. For example, if you open the email, we go through the next and next and next. Okay, let's continue to another features that we have in this version of FlexRule. Now moving on to the next new feature. FlexRule is now the only decision intelligence platform to achieve the highest conformance level for decision model annotation, or DMN. DMN is a standard model language for the precise specification of business decisions and business rules. It uses decades of expertise from thousands of professionals, offering the best practice for modeling and executing business rules and business decisions. Let me explain how we can use DMN in FlexRule platform. In a couple of slides, I'll briefly review how you can model your business decision using the DMN approach. Also, we've provided comprehensive guides in the DMN section of our resource hub to help you get familiar with the DMN approach. You'll also find a series of webinars that demonstrate a step-by-step instruction to how to model with DMN. Starting with a quick look at the four main components of DMN: decision requirement diagram, or DRD, decision table, friendly enough expression language, or FEEL, and box expression. The first component is DRD. The first step is to capture business decisions at a high level by modeling them in a decision requirement diagram, which outlines how different decisions related to each other. DRD allows you to decompose a complex business decisions into subcomponents. These subcomponents can be a range of different things, such as input or business knowledge or any activities. As you can see, with a single decision requirement diagram, you bring every piece of the decision-making scenario together at a conceptual level. Once a business decision is modeled using a DRD, it brings clarity, transparency, and accuracy to how decisions are made. It also helps define and communicate those decisions to all relevant stakeholders involved. DMN offers a clear and consistent way to model business rules, mainly through the decision table. As the image shows, each row is a business rule, and the green columns are the conditions for the rule, and the orange column is output for that. In DMN, decision table is type of box expression. The last component I'd like to cover is box expression. Box expression allows you to specify simple and complex behavior to implement a decision logic which is not rule-driven. For example, calculating the amount of monthly installment or determine the loan affordability. Box expression, as the name suggests, use expressions, and the expression language in DMN is called FEEL, friendly enough expression language. Think of FEEL like Excel formula. It lets you manage more complex logic, much like how Excel formulas do. FEEL provides a set of formulas to model complex behavior, and through box expressions, reusable component, you can apply this logic across various decision scenarios using the FEEL expression language. In the previous slides, I explained how you can model your decision model with the DMN approach. While if you have a DMN file, there are two different ways to load the DMN file in FlexRule Designer. You can load it as a new project or add it to an existing model. To load the DMN file as a new project, an option is added on the FlexRule homepage to allow user to load the DMN file as a new project. Once you click on the From DMN file, a window pops up asking for the project's name and descriptions, and after click on OK, the authoring environment will open along with the window to select your DMN file. When you use the loading DMN file from scratch, the designer automatically installs the DMN extension. Also, as you can see on the left side here, the DMN compatible checkbox is automatically ticked. This is the way that you can change the FlexRule Designer mode to DMN mode. This means that this decision model uses the DMN approach to build and execute the model. Once you click on Open, FlexRule loads your DMN model. You can debug, execute, modify, and deploy your model as a service to cloud. In the next step, I want to explain how you can add the DMN file to an existing project. Whenever you want to load the DMN file, click on it in Project Explorer, then click on the document menu and select From DMN file to add the DMN model. Make sure that you need to manually install the DMN extension for you to use the FlexRule Designer DMN mode. Let me show you how we can load the DMN file into the FlexRule Designer. If I go to the home page, and here I click From DMN file, and I need to put the name DMN loading. Okay. If I click on the DMN file that I have, it's automatically load everything that I had in the DMN file. For example, if I go to the routing and drilled in to this business knowledge, I can see this is it. Let me start to debug these models, and I show you I need the input. If I copy the inputs from here and paste it here, I start to debug it and show you how we can drill in and check the output of this DRD. So, for example, I don't want to go inside of this for debugging, but I want to go through these box expressions. And here you can see, if I bring up the parameters, you can see the output of this. And here again, we invoke another box expression that we can go to the another box expression, determine the, what was that? Determine the contingency factor, and again back to the box expression and continue to debug it to calculate the affordability, for example, for us. And on the last stage, I need go to the routing. This is another decision tables, and you can see the output routing is referred here. And again, same as the continuous decision model that I show you how we can deploy this model to cloud. Again, I can go to the package builder and set up just enter the identifier and versioning for the package and for the server, and then go to the deploy and click, for example, this time I click on the AWS, and here you need enter the credential for the AWS and click on the publish. For saving time before the webinar, I load this model and deploy it to cloud to show you how it works through the Postman. If I come here and this is the input for this model. If you can see that this model is, the output of this model is decline. Okay, let's move, continue to another feature that we have. In this version of FlexRule Designer, we've integrated AI into the platform to enhance decision-making capability. AI helps analyze data pattern, predict outcomes, and recommended action in real time. This is important because it enables faster and more adaptive decisions. Let me show you an example in real scenario. The scenario for this model takes place at a hotel reception. Imagine a customer is standing at the front desk. Based on the information you already have about them, you run the decision model that you have already built. And for this specific customer, it tells you they are available for example, 3 different offers. Now, the key question is, which offer should you choose? This choice matters because the offer you give can directly impact the customer's experience, the feedback you receive, and whether they decide to return or not. For example, offering late checkout to a business traveler who lives every day at 7 a.m. might make them feel like you don't understand them. But giving the same offer to a family with 2 children could make their stay much more enjoyable. This is where AI comes in. It helps identify which offer is the best fit for each customer based on feedback that you get from the previous customers that you have, and making your decision more personal and more effective. This is the model for selecting a personalized offer for a specific customer. The first step is to categorize the customers and recognize the customer's status based on the customer's information. In the second step, we select the eligibility offers for this customer based on the business rules that we created. And in the final step, we predict how suitable each offer is by calculating its probability of matching the customer's need. And let me again, I bring the FlexRule Designer and I show you this model. Oh, no, I don't want to save it. Yeah. Same as the other models, we need the input, and the input for this model is this. They guess what's the birthday and how many birthday room had and so on. I start to divide and I want to go inside of each rules. This is the decision table, and based on these business rules that we created and also the input that we have, we determine the customer's status. And in the next step, based on the customer status and total night, big family, and overnight stay, and based on again the customer's information, we select this customer is eligible for which offer. For example, this customer is eligible for freebie package 2 and late checkout. But the question is, which one is better that we offer? If I don't go inside of this, here you can see the output. We have the probability based on the predicting model that we created. For example, for these customers, freebie package 2 is more suitable. I want to show you another exciting thing. Here, I have an Excel file that each row is input for one customer. For example, this row is one customer that we have the same input that I need for these models, birthday, bed, gender, and so on. If I load this Excel file in FlexRule Designer, this is the exact the same table that I have in Excel. And if I want to run it for the model that we have, here you can see that for example, first customer, the best offer is discount 7%, and the probability is 1. It means this customer is just eligible for one offer. And if I wanna create a rule and show you, for example, here the best offer, the best probability is not equal to 1. And highlight these fonts for me in orange color. Or also I can modify it and apply it to all the rows. Yes. And here you can see the customers that the probability of the best offer is not 1. And you can see, for example, this one is less than 50%, is around just 30%. And you can go and check in the database why this kind of customers is not happy with this offer that we can, and you can improve your models. Okay, let's continue to next features. In this new version, we've added support for SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol, a widely used web service protocol. This allows FlexRule Designer to connect and communicate with systems that use SOAP APIs. This means you can work smoothly with a wider range of serverless and data sources. A new extension is available on the extension management window, allowing users to easily install and access the SOAP client. The next new feature is for FlexRule Server. FlexRule servers now support single sign-in with Azure Active Directory. This feature lets you log in securely and seamlessly using your existing Azure credentials. It simplifies access, enhance security, and making it easier and safer for your team to use the FlexRule server. As you can see, the user has option to sign into FlexRule Workbench with Azure credential on the sign-in window. This feature currently supports Azure only, but we plan to expand it to other cloud providers in future. This is how you can enable this feature. One step is added to installation process of master management, which allows the user to add Azure credentials. These are main features that were added to the FlexRule version 10.1. I hand over to Ian to explain an exciting learning feature that we just released. Ian,
Thanks, AJ. Thank you for that great presentation. And thanks to everybody who made the time to attend today's session. And I'd like to bring up our free training courses in FlexRule Academy. Academy has missions with video tutorials, quizzes, and hands-on challenges. And at the end of each mission, you can take an exam to actually obtain your certification. To bring up DMN again, our new feature, our most recent mission in FlexRule Academy allows you to get certified using DMN with FlexRule. Next slide, please. Also, I invite you to sign up for our newsletter so you can get information on our regular updates. And you can do that by going to flexrule.com/newsletter. As always, if you have further questions, please reach out to us at info@flexrule.com or through your usual support channels. I hope you guys are all as excited as we are for these new features. We look forward to helping you take advantage of them. And that concludes this webinar. Thanks again, everybody, for joining.
thank you, everyone.